on.
Well, it is a pretty area right here.
Beautiful. How's it feeling, Mark?
Feeling pretty good.
18 miles to County Road D41D.
I think that's the Pecos River turnoff there. At 49 up this hill. It's not bad.
That's the fastest I've seen you go. You're doing about 54 there for a little bit. And then came the hill.
Loose gravel up here, Mark.
All right. Miles.
Yep. Clay, a lot of bumps. It's clear, and there's a cattle crossing right there. So you're good to go. Really, there's a big hole on the right.
I found it. Now, Willie, you're going to want to find a spot to park here where you can turn around after we go under the bridge.
I'll let you know, Willie.
Okay.
There's a turnaround spot right after the bridge. But we're going on, right?
Yeah, we're going on. I'm just saying that Willie may not want to go all the way to the dead end. I don't know. Post office.
All right, why don't you tell us where we are?
This is the Pecos River, and this is where this bridge was either not here or it was out when C.K. Shepherd came upon it. And so he forded the river. He pushed his bike into this river down here, either there or some other place. I'm sure that dam wasn't there, so it probably wasn't as deep here. But it's probably more like that, what we see down there with the running water over the, but still, that is not exactly, anyway, he completely drenched the motor.
I was meditating thus when the sound of rushing waters reached my ears. Sure enough, the road ended abruptly like a cliff and continued in like fashion on the opposite side. Between and several feet below swirled the river Pecos. It was still swollen with rain from the mountains, although it had evidently been much higher recently. Not a soul was about. There was a solitary Mexican house on a hill to one side. I contemplated the river in silence, save for the sound of its waters as they swirled over the rocky bed and now and then dislodged a weighty boulder. To the right, 2 rickety planks had been erected, supported partly by ropes and partly by vertical props from rocks in the river, for pedestrians to cross. I wondered what pedestrian would find himself in these parts. To the left, a detour had somehow been dug at an angle of about 20 degrees to the water's edge. In the opposite bank, a similar detour had been dug, but at an angle of about 30 degrees. Evidently several cars had already passed through the river that way. But a car is not a motorcycle, I meditated. A car on 4 wheels could not only hold its own better in the middle of the torrent, but could also get up the opposite bank easier. One thing was quite certain. Even if I got through the river all right, it would require superhuman effort to push the machine up the steep, greasy incline on the opposite side. I reconnoitred up and down the riverbank in the hope of finding a better place to cross, but the quest was in vain. The banks grew steeper and higher, and the riverbed wider and rougher than ever. I returned to Lizzie and said a prayer for her. Then I took off my tunic and removed the bag and blanket from the carrier. I judged that it would be expedient to rely upon momentum as far as possible, as the engine would certainly not run for long under water. So, starting the engine once more, I put in the bottom gear and charged down the greasy slope into the river. There was a tremendous hiss, and a cloud of steam went heavenwards. The engine stopped long before I reached the middle, and the smooth nature of the loose rocks that formed the riverbed was treacherous for 2 wheels. There was nothing for it when the engine stopped but to dismount quickly and push. When I reached the middle, the water was up to my waist, and it took most of my strength to keep the machine upright and hold it against the force of the river, which swirled around the cylinders and washed up against the tank. I managed to avoid being washed away, however, thanks to the great weight of the machine, and got her to the opposite bank.
No problem. No problem at all. Perfect.
Awesome. You came out of there hot. Woo!
This sure is pretty down here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This land.
Willie, you on?
What happened to the rest of the team? They stayed behind?
It was swimming, I think.
Yeah. I think Andy lost his glove. And you are clear.
All right. You really can see clear, right?
I'm in the middle of the road, so yeah.
All right.
Still all clear.
I think I'll wait till we're over.
Take a picture. Take a picture.